Hi guys and gals, it's me George, and as you saw the other day we have the goofy cart all back together except for the body and hooking up the wiring. And I was going to start it. I told you that. I told you I was going to start it and run it through the gears before I put the body on, but we ran into a problem. There are four things that it takes for an engine to run, and what are they, Mr. Andrew?
They are compression, air, gas, and spark.
Exactly right. Well, we have gas, and we have air, and we have spark.
No compression.
But we thought we had compression, but we did a compression test on it, and we only had, what, 10 pounds of compression or something like that. It was really low. So we're finding out that my chrome caps that we have on our head bolts, they like to come off, and or they don't come off, and so it's taking a little bit longer than necessary. And you got to remember, this has been sitting in a trailer for about a year, I would guess. And so I'm guessing that we probably have a stuck valve. You have a ratchet on that, you know, could back your ratchet up.
Trying to do it where it's not going to put too much pressure on that cap.
So we'll bring you back. We're just about got the head unbolted. We'll bring you back and we'll investigate the problem. Okay, we got the head off now. We're going to just crank over the motor a couple of times and watch those valves and make sure they both are going up and down. Well, they're both going up and down, so they're not stuck. But what is the issue? We'll have to look at them and make sure that they're seating all the way. Well, no stuck valves. And they seem to be closing fine. So put a little STP around the edges of the rings, or the edges of the piston. I'm going to put it back together and see what we can get. I can't imagine that the cylinder walls are washed off.
Sorry.
That's the big dog's notification for something or other. Yeah, big dog's here, and tablet man, phone man, Andy, he's here, along with the old shade tree fix-it man. So we're going to put the head back on it and try it again. Okay, we're going to give it a try again. We have spark. I've already tested that. We are getting fuel in there. We know we're getting air, and it has good suction here on the carburetor when I put my hand over it. See what happens. Give it a squirt of gas. This is pre-mixed. And with all the oil I've put down in the cylinder, it's going to be smoky when it starts up. That's okay. Smoky we don't mind. Okay, so now we're going to take the carburetor off and put it on the bench. I put more gas in the cylinder, pull the spark plug out. I changed the gas tank set up around. Know I get plenty of gas to the carburetor, but evidently it's not going through the carburetor and into the cylinders. So you got to have compression, you got to have air, you got to have fuel, you got to have spark. Well, we got spark, we have some compression, and enough to make it fire. Not enough to make me happy though. I expected to see way more than 25, and it's a brand new or relatively new compression gauge, so I can't imagine that there's anything wrong with it reading improperly. We'll see what happens here. We'll get it off and we'll bring it over on the bench with us and see what looks like inside the carburetor. Could be gummed up in there, like it's been sitting for a year, you know. Alright. Okay, this is the carburetor that we had on there. This is a PZ30 Mikuni knockoff. And the one I have over here, this is a PZ27, which is what I'd had on it before. And I forget why I went from that one to this one. Not sure that there was a particular reason. But I had to make, because the 30 millimeter has a bigger intake nozzle on it than the other one. I had to make an adapter for my intake manifold, which is why I made this, so that, and I can see a problem right there. See that? That gasket's not sitting in there. You see that? So it's not sealing there properly. So that might be part of my problem. It was running with that on it before. We're going to take it apart, check inside just to make sure. And if everything looks fine and dandy inside, then we'll take the PZ27 apart, and we'll end up swapping around our throttle linkage, which we have on this one. Yeah, it's pretty gunked up in there, ain't it? Sure is. And it appears to me that the needle valve is sticking down inside there, down in here. That would cause problems. So I'm going to soak this in the carburetor cleaner tank, and we're going to crack this one open. We're going to have to take that off and make sure we can clean that out. But I'm going to take this one apart now. We got the other float bowl soaking in the carburetor cleaner. We'll see what this one looks like inside. I would probably be better off going back with the PZ27, just because the intake manifold fits it properly. That might be my problem though, that the size of the Venturi is too big for my intake manifold. It's certainly a whole lot cleaner in there than the other one, although I see a fair amount of dirt down inside there too. So we'll take our rubber seal off. The rubber seal stayed on the carburetor on that one. Take the rubber seal off of here, because we don't want to get it chewed up by the carburetor cleaner. And then we'll put this in and soak this too. Okay, so we're going to take the float off of here. I've already pushed the pin through, and I don't believe that the needle valve is coming out. No, it's stuck in there. This should pop right off. So that needle valve is stuck, which explains why we're getting no gas. And I just knocked the clip off of it. Can you see that needle valve right there? That should come right out, and it doesn't. I have to get a pair of needle nose, pull that puppy out. That's why we're getting no gas in there. Probably had a pretty good vacuum leak on the intake manifold. There it is. That thing was stuck in there. And you can see, I think you could probably see the gobbledygook on it. Yeah, it's all sticky and gummy. We'll clean that with some carburetor cleaner, and we'll, yeah, see, now there's gas coming out of the inlet because that is no longer stuck down in there. So we're going to clean this one all up. But I think we're going to go back to this PZ27. It's not stuck. We'll take it out anyway and clean it. And I'll show you how it should be when you take this float thing off. I can get the float to come out for me. Pin. There's the pin. Pull the pin out and take the float off, and watch with this one. See that? That one came off, came out of it just like it was supposed to. So we're going to clean this one all up and put this one back together, and we're going to hook our throttle cable that we have hooked on here. That's what that is. Put that one on this one. This is the one we're going to go with because this one is going to fit on our intake manifold the way it's supposed to. And I believe the intake manifold was actually made for this carburetor. So you hold on to your hats, and we'll be bringing you back. We're going to let the parts soak overnight, and I probably won't have time to get out here tomorrow because today is Tuesday, tomorrow is Wednesday. I got to take my wife to do a little bit of grocery shopping, and then we'll get church tomorrow night. So it'll be Thursday before we're back out here. Right, Jinx? You see Jinx down here? Say hi, Jinx. How you doing, buddy? He likes to spend time out in the shop with me. Till next time, this is George. Haven't seen my face for a while. Well, that's probably a good thing for you guys. George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, saying thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. We figured out the problem now to get our carburetor put back together after it's cleaned up, and we should be able to fire this puppy up and run it through the gears. Once we get that done, then we can put the body back on, hook all the wiring up, and we'd be taking her for a ride, don't you know? So that's probably going to happen before the weekend or by the weekend. Till then, bye for now.